because I know that the players are the ones that are responsible for all of us being here and the ones that you should want to talk to the most. Angie and I are thrilled to be back in town. When we drove into Ann Arbor, a lot of memories flashed back, a lot of great memories. And I looked at her and I said, I haven't been back in Chrysler since 1997, so it's a long time. But I'm here and I'm excited to be here. John Beilein and I are good friends, and he's one of the reasons that I'm here. But the real reason are the players and the managers and the staff that we had when we had the privilege to serve here and to be a part of this great university. So what they accomplished as a team is impossible to do, but one every year does it. And you have to have a little bit of fortune. We had that. You have to have great talent. We had that. Indicative of Glenn Rice still holding the NCAA 6-game scoring record that will never be broken. He averaged over 30 points a game for 6 games, lead a team to a national championship, and when he missed, I would look at Dutcher and said, what happened when he missed a shot? So we've got Sean Higgins here, and we've got Rob Pelinka here, and what makes a coach feel proud is not what they were, but what they are and what they've become. And I'm so proud of all of them. They've represented themselves, their families, and this university with tremendous pride. And we're honored to be back. So thank you very much.
Why don't we bring up real quick? Huh? You guys want to go all three at once? Why don't you do all three at once? Oh, it's harder that way. That way you guys can do it and hit that. Hey, Bruce, keep the mic. Pardon? I will, yeah. We'll get the mics, okay, because we're going to try to do, so when you're talking, make sure we grab the mic. If you want me to make sure you guys can do it, here you go.
We'll start with Glenn.
Start with Glenn? Thank you. First of all, I want to be the first player today to make sure that we understand how grateful we are to see our coach, our man that was in charge, Steve Fisher, back in town. I think now we can say the second half of the mission is complete because we have our leader back with us. Second of all, it's always an honor to come back and be in Ann Arbor, be able to run the grounds of the campus again, reflect on what we achieved both on the court and off the court here in Ann Arbor, and how we not only represented ourselves and each other, but how we represented the University of Michigan. It's always a proud moment to be able to go out and pat the young guys on the back who've been doing a tremendous job up under Beilein, who I always say is the next Bo Schembechler here, because if you know Bo Schembechler, the clout that he had here, the understanding that he had about being a Michigan man, Beilein is definitely fitting up under that description. As far as the reunion, there's not enough words that I can say or describe being amongst my brothers, amongst the guys who accomplished the ultimate goal in NCAA basketball achievement in winning the 1989 championship. 30 years later, we are still, when we walked on the court yesterday to see the young guys, we were putting our team together to figure out, well, you know what, I think we can take them out. and that's because that's the respect and the ability of knowing how each one of us play and evaluating the young guys. We give them a pretty good go for the first 5 minutes. After that would be history. But anyway, it's a great honor to be here, and I'm going to give it the floor over to Bruce. I got this. I've done this rodeo over and over and over. So I no longer need your guidance. Thank you. But I'm gonna give it to Sean or either Rob, whoever wants to step up. Thank you.
Well, you know, getting out the hotel this morning and looking outside the snow, you know, it felt like being at the campus in again on Friday or Saturday night before we got ready to play. I didn't know whether to put on my sweats or a suit. You know, it just felt good to be back. And this is an extra homecoming for me because I'm originally from Ann Arbor. You know, I lived here till I was 10 years old, so just riding around the city and seeing the old buildings. And just more importantly than that, you know, just being around my brothers. You know, these guys, you know, I tell people all the time, if it wasn't for this guy right here, I probably wouldn't have played in the NBA. Because Glenn Rice challenged me every day in practice. You know, and I came here, I was an offensive player. I knew nothing about defense. And guarding this guy, you better play some defense. And so, that, you know, that's something that just resonated with me throughout my career. And then all the rest of the guys, the camaraderie we had on our team and the closeness as brothers. You know, that was something that really, you know, stayed with me. And, you know, I work with young players now, and I always try to instill in them and tell them to say, you know, the camaraderie you're going to have and the relationships you're going to have with your teammates are going to last forever. And that's what this weekend is all about. You know, every time the school brings us back, you know, we have an opportunity to reminisce and get to see each other again and meet each other's families. And it's really special. And I really appreciate the university for doing this for us. That's about all I have, guys. Leave it right.
Well said.
I had the pleasure the other night of hosting Steve and Angie Fisher for a Lakers game up in LA. They came through to watch our team play, and I remember having dinner with them before the game, and I'm a big storyteller because I think stories are such a part of sports. And I remember literally being in the locker room of the national championship game, being prepared to go out and play Seton Hall. And this dude who was so cold-blooded with his jump shot, I think he was literally sleeping on the trainer's table, just kind of getting his mind right for the game. You remember that?
Yeah, I do.
And so everyone was getting taped, and we were all wondering what our commander-in-chief of the basketball team, Coach Fisher, was going to say. And I still get goosebumps thinking of this story, but and I told Steve this the other night. It was almost like, you know, a scene out of a movie. We all had our folding chairs, and there was the whiteboard, the chalkboard. Coach Fisher said, "Here's what I want you guys to do as a team." He said, "We're in the Superdome, unbelievable facility of basketball, and the pageantry of the Final Four is unlike anything you can experience in sports. And in the Superdome in this particular year, they had hung like huge flags and banners for every single national championship basketball team in the history of the NCAA. And so you had the great schools, the Kentuckys and the Dukes and all the schools hanging around. And he said, when you guys go out and warm up for the game, I want you to look up in the rafters. I want you to look at those banners. And I want you to know that 1989 is going to say the University of Michigan Wolverines. And that was just one of those goosebump moments for us where we went on and we accomplished our mission. And one of the guys was saying to me the other day, actually last night when we had some of our celebrations, he said, "Rob, I don't know if your job was to have the team GPA high or the team point per game high." But I remember with Glenn, you know, I think the great thing of a team, and I deal with this now, you know, kind of helping out with the Lakers team, is how we all play a part. And one of the managers was telling stories that in that Final Four run when Glenn could not miss a shot, what we would do when practice, before the cameras were out or, you know, anyone knew what we were doing, he and I would get in the gym and we would shoot three-pointers for an hour. And it was a contest where we would get out on the court, start maybe at the college three, get back to the NBA three, and then one of the managers was like, eventually you'd be in the seats, on the sidelines, shooting from the seats, you were so far away. But just the memories of kind of being able to play a role where I helped, you know, tune him up to make the threes in the game. But this institution is unlike anything else in the world in terms of the combination of the academic greatness, the legacy, the history here, the sports facilities, walking around campus, even just being up now overlooking Michigan Stadium and being, you know, about to walk into Chrysler Arena. The feeling that all of us have is just a feeling of gratitude. We are so thankful for the experience that we've had as Michigan Wolverines, and it's something that will define us. It's something that will carry us to the great places life will continue to bring us. And so thank you guys so much for being here today to support us.
Any
Well
questions?
said.
You guys got any quick questions that you'd like
said.
from me?